Okay, so today we come to RST Motors to pick up shop truck. So it is complete and ready to go, and it looks amazing. Let's take a look. That thing is epic, so can't wait to get this thing back to the shop. We got a little tuning to work on, a little bit of wiring, and then Burnout City, and then we put the bed back on this thing. I can't wait to see it with the bed on it. It just sits so perfect in the front. Shop truck is back, and dang, Omar at RST killed it on this. I mean, geez, look at this exhaust setup. My gosh, all this chassis work, boxed in the frame completely, all the way from the back, all the way underneath to the new center brace. He painted the tank, I mean the battery mount location, hid the tips of the exhaust right up under here. Gosh, dang, it is clean. All this work is just so nice. You can see we went with the TSP mufflers, and he ran it all the way back. So he did go ahead and leave the, he put little V-bands on the factory manifolds, so we can dyno it with the factory manifolds too, just like we told you guys. So we're gonna dyno it with the factory manifolds and the factory intake, and then we're gonna swap it over to the custom headers he built. And then, yeah, then we'll see what it picks up with the headers. We'll do the cam, the head, stuff like that. You guys can see we still got this super ugly intake on here from the 2018 truck. So we're just trying to get it as close to factory as we can to dyno it to get that first initial number of the swap, and then we'll go from there. We'll do the headers, we'll do the intake, you know, one of those before the other, obviously, just to see each gain along the route. So happy to have this truck back. It needs a bath. It's dirty, but definitely not back here. This is just pure clean. Potax, you good to go now?
He's ready to go.
Nice. So he figured out the shifting situation right away. It was just a quick wiring issue, got it done, and took it for a quick spin. It shifts like a champ. So let's go take it for a spin. Oh yeah, she's going. Wait for it, wait for it. Shift. Look, the gauges are working.
Yeah, I hooked up the tack.
What?
Oh, the speedometer's working too.
We got tack and speedometer?
I didn't hook up the speedometer.
Look at that!
I mean, we're not going 40.
No, but, it's judging it somehow. Man, it's driving like a champ. So it's still a little, it rips though.
It does rip.
The shifting's a little...
It's got a little bit of torque management coming in here.
Yeah, for sure. It's sweet though, man. This thing's badass. The little dog caught a glimpse of the action, wanted in. Man, it takes the bumps good. Oh, I love this thing, man. She's a straight ripper. Nice. I'm pumped, dude.
I'm pumped too.
It runs and drives like a champ.
This is a lot of work. I mean, of course, the last day was nothing, but
yeah. Now
that we had it back and could spend some time on it, it was just a matter of connecting one wire. It was already pre-wired. It just needed to be connected in the middle.
Damn, that's good, man.
We need to get Trevor to take this thing for a spin and do a Bedless Burnout.
It'll be the first time he's driven it with the new engine.
Since he did the original Burnout, we feel like we should give him double the power for the next Burnout. I
definitely think this engine's not going to have a problem with it. It's not going to need any water down. You guys already saw, she likes to party. Hey, so time to take her for her first spin swapped, huh?
I'm going to need that.
That was for a couple gears right there. It seems like it might be all fixed up.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, it shifted a lot better that time. That's crazy for completely stock.
Yeah. Yeah, it also helps when you have no hood and no bed. You know, I mean,
it's lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
likes to send it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get this thing, the bed on it, and fully ready to rip.
Yeah. And I don't know who's been ripping around this road, but I'm calling the cops.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is close course.
All these marks.
Easy parking, no backup camera needed.
Nope. We rock it old school.
All right, so it's back. It's on the lift, right next to the twin turbo Camaro. What's next up on this? We got to bleed the brakes.
Did
Or?
we talk about the stuff that we got back from RST?
Yes, a little.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
This is just kind of like the underside of it then, I guess. You can kind of see the exhaust and the connection pipes.
This stuff just looks. I just love how solid it is, dude. It's like you can literally hit this and can't budge it.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's insane. Anywhere in the exhaust, it's just rock solid. Like he got it mounted so well.
Then you can see the connection pipes. So whenever we put the headers on that he built, this is where the collector is going to end up with a V-band clamp on both sides. So we'll move the manifolds in these connection pipes and put the headers back on and rock and roll on the dyno.
Headers right over there.
So
yeah, you put the little V-bands on there. Take this piece
the
off.
transmission, in one of our videos it wasn't shifting, now it's shifting.
Yep.
Basically there's two power wires. One of the power wires just didn't have power down here. So I think it was a constant 12 volts to this red and green wire, and I hooked it up top, and we went and took it for a drive, and it shifted.
It drives amazingly.
Drives really good. It'll take some tuning to get the torque management and stuff figured out and working in a swap.
What's this here?
The fuel pressure sensor. So the direct injected cars, they still have a fuel pump in the tank and regulated fuel pressure. We just set it up with a Corvette fuel filter to have 60 psi, but it needs this low pressure sensor to read the fuel pressure.
Okay.
It starts up better on a lot of cars with the sensor intact. Like when we run on the dyno, we don't run this stuff on the LT stuff, but in the car, it's better to have it.
Okay.
The transmission cooler we still need to get on. We just looped the line so we could drive it on and off the trailer. So I ordered, yesterday we ordered the new 6AN line, new fittings, a transmission cooler with 6AN line. So we'll have an auxiliary cooler in front of the condenser. We'll have to straighten out some brake lines and stuff.
Bleed the brakes.
Bleed the brakes again.
It's so crazy under here. It looks so much different now.
Yeah.
I love how the mufflers and stuff are here. This thing looks incredible.
So we still have the cruise control box to set up, which we could work on pretty much any time. The gas pedal needs a better bracket. It's just up there with some sheet metal right now. It's a little bit flimsy. We'll make it out of some like 1/8 inch aluminum at some point.
We got to fix the tie rods too.
The tie rods will be kind of tricky.
Yeah, they're super ghetto, just so they move.
RST, he when he put all of the suspension on, it had a bunch of toe out, so he shortened our tie rods for us because there wasn't enough adjustment.
Yeah.
So what we're thinking about doing is cutting the inner tie rod, maybe like 1/2 inch shorter, 1/2 inch on the new replacement tie rod, and maybe it'll bring it in enough to where at least we could adjust the toe to what it needs to be.
Yeah, Omar just did this for us so we could drive it back onto the trailer and stuff.
Yeah, it would be hard to drive with it all cross-eyed.
You probably wouldn't be too pumped seeing us driving it around the streets ripping on it.
It drives pretty good.
Yeah.
We just haven't
until
gone
one
very
snaps
fast
and
with it.
Oh man, but yeah.
Oh, we put O2 sensors in it. It didn't have O2 sensors until it had the exhaust, and when we got it back, I put the O2 sensors in it.
It's so crazy that even the connection pipes he made that he knows we're barely gonna run, he put a little bung for the O2 for the dyno and everything. It's like, man, that's crazy.
Then the headers.
Yeah, the header's right over here.
I saw he
he
customized them.
Yeah, weld a little TSV on there. Yeah, these things look amazing.
But yeah, they're nice. Really
Yeah,
nice
you
setup.
get the V-band,
Oh,
just bolt right on.
my C's on.
Yep, so those will bolt right on. So basically what we'll do is we're just going to dyno it like it is, stock intake, stock manifolds. And then just swap one piece at a time. We'll swap to the headers probably next, then we'll swap the intake to a different intake. And then it's time to dive into the engine and do some head cam stuff.
To dyno it, since it doesn't have like a manual gear selection like the 2014 or 2018 truck has a plus minus button on the shifter, we had to order a little toggle switch from SpearTech so we could hold it in each gear manually.
Okay.
Without building our own kind of resistor pack harness. It was easier just to order one from somebody that's already done it before. So we'll put that somewhere on the dash somewhere so we could dyno it and hold it in, I believe it's 4th gear. on these, where you could do the one as close to 1-to-1 ratio as possible. I think force is 1-to-1 on the Excel 80. But that should be pretty simple once we have that. It wires into one of these pins. So basically it's a manual bypass electronically. Kind of like a 09 Corvette would have. So we'll have to do some tuning with that to make sure that works, because in the newer trucks it's on the network. In first versions of these 6L80s it was hardwired, so it was just a switch a resistor signal to the transmission. And now everything's all network, so we can't do network stuff, so we have to hardwire it.
Yep, so we have most of this stuff on order already. It should be in a couple days, I would imagine. And then we'll get straight. Yeah, that's right. We do have to do the battery cables.
Yeah, so I ordered the battery cable, so we'll have to ground it to the frame here on the negative side. The positive, we'll probably put an on-off switch somewhere, like kind of hidden down here, because if we go race this at the track, they're going to look for it. So we'll put one down here where you can get access to it. Then we'll run the battery cable. Whether it might be inside the frame, we might put it on the outside external, but I was kind of thinking to run it inside, encased in the frame.
It'd be cool.
And run it up to a junction box up front, and then I'll reuse the factory cables from the engine bay to the engine.
I'm looking forward to the extra space under the hood.
Oh yeah,
get rid of that tractor battery.
The battery's completely in the way. We need to find a tractor that we could put that battery in.
It needs to live on.
Or it might be our new Cletus and Cars battery that we put in whatever the next donor car is.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll set it aside.
Yep. So, all right. With all that said, we have pretty much all that stuff on order already. It'll be in the next few days or so, and we'll be back to work on this. After that, it's time for a burnout. Then put the bed back on it. I'm so excited to see what this thing looks like with the bed on it and everything. So pretty soon the bed and hood, they're just getting dirty. They've sat out in the rain. It's time to get them cleaned up and back on the truck. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, we're out here. Trevor's in the truck. He's ready to let it rip. See how she does. Well, I'd say that's pretty good for the bedless burnout. Now it's time to get the bed on this thing and see how it looks.